Welcome back, Shalloners. Well, today we're going to tackle a topic that has been on your mind for a minute. Camila Cabello and her racist Tumblr past and her recent apology for the thing she did on the internet when she was a teenager and kind of not so teenage years-ish. Like, she's been acting out on the internet sort of for a while. But we're not just going to talk about Camilla. We're not just going to post gratuitous shirtless photos of Shawn Mendes just because we can, because she's tangentially tied to him, and therefore we should all gawk at him in his Calvin Klein campaign glory. But we're also going to talk about what we can learn from this, right? Because the internet never forgets. And chances are we've said something either stupid on the internet or stupid in real life, usually a combination. So we're going to break down her apology, focus on what she did right and what she did wrong, and how we can learn from this, take it to our own lives, and how basically we can move on from a past that might not be so savory all the time. Because you know what? We're all only human, right? Yikes. But first, follow me on Instagram at ShallonXO. You guys were tagging me in a whole bunch of this. That's how I get so many of my video ideas. You guys tag me and keep me posted on everything because I'm busy. And speaking of being busy, this is the part in the video that I would tell you to go to my website, shallonlester.com, and click Get Help to connect with me. But I am on Christmas break. I have so many questions to catch up on, both that you guys have submitted via the website and via the GoFundMe. I am doing a fundraiser for a homeless mama of 3 who lives in Atlanta. She's currently living in a motel room that we, the Shallontrage, are paying for. I'm going down there in early January to try to get her more permanent housing, work with her on some job placement, talk to some social workers, and really do more than just cut a check, because that doesn't always go super well if people don't have like the financial literacy and awareness to make that money work. I wouldn't, so people need help. And so that's really what we're doing here in the Shallontrage. Philanthropy. We're going to stick with Sherry and her little kiddos, hopefully for a few more months and throughout the year, to give you guys progress reports, see where your money's going, and see what we can do. And if you donate $25 or more on the GoFundMe, you get a free question. Just leave it in the comment section. So I'm catching up on all of those. I'm not accepting any new questions on my website until January 1st. I know, I'm sorry. But I am giving you a video a day for Vlogmas. Wouldn't it be weird if I did like 31 videos like in one day? Just like spew them all out on New Year's Eve. No, it's one video a day. So a girl's got to sleep, a girl's got to eat, a girl's got to hunt, She's single now. She's got to hunt. But we're not talking about hunting today. We're talking about Camila Cabello, okay? So Camila, she has long been accused of being kind of a racist asshole on the internet. She had a Tumblr. She had like a secret Tumblr, okay, like this Finsta called Vous êtes belle. And she recently, I'm sorry, this is out of order because this is like so weird and makes no sense to me. I don't use Tumblr. Whatever. You can only have so many networks. Do you know what I mean? But long story short, people found the old archived post from this secret Tumblr of hers that she has admitted on her real Tumblr was her account. Okay, so we can't say like, well, this could be a faker. No, like she said it. She said it, right? So yeah, like she said, Vous êtes belle? Yeah. What a lame Tumblr. Our little secret. In these fantasies, you won't lay a finger on me. Okay. But I had someone send me some of these archived things from her Tumblr. It's like stuff that she's reblogged and like reposted, like memes and everything. So we're going to go through them and look at some of them. This is not even all of them, because at some point I was like, send me like 8 and I'm all stocked up on racist bullshit. Okay. So this is her old Tumblr, John 3:16. First of all, stay the fuck out of my religion if you're going to be racist. Thanks. John 3:16 is kind of like the summary of Christianity in general. It's like, God so loved the earth that he gave his only begotten son, and whoever believeth in him shall not perish but enjoy everlasting life. I think that's John 3:16. I might have bungled a few words there. I don't speak Bible. But, okay, so this is the first pick. Oh no. So it's a white basketball player trying to keep a bucket of KFC away from a black basketball player. She also reblogged other things that were like black people eating watermelon. I grew up in Southern California, and in my town, in Irvine, we simply did not have a lot of black people. We had Asians, Persians, and Hispanic people, Mexican people. And so I never heard stereotypes about black people. It just was like, I don't hear stereotypes about people from Greenland. There aren't people from Greenland here. It's like we had plenty of stereotypes about like Asians and Persians and Mexicans, obviously. So to hear like these kinds of things, like the chicken and the watermelon from like an outside perspective in like a neutral, contextless point of view, it's like, do you think no one else eats chicken? What? Okay. But I'll tell you where the origins of the watermelon stereotype came from, or the prejudice, whatever we want to call this. Back after the Civil War in Reconstructionist South, you know, when Black people were given 40 acres and a mule and they were allowed to farm this land, they had a restriction on what kind of crops they could farm. And one of the main things they were allowed to farm was watermelon. And so it was highly associated with them. But like, hello, chicken and watermelon is like the perfect meal. There is nothing more I could ask. If you had Southern grandparents, did they ever put salt on their watermelon? Mine always did. They put salt on everything. Apples, pie. Salt on chocolate's really good. Okay, so she reblogged this KFC thing. Not even funny. Okay, oh no. Niglet. What? So she was reposting these things in 2012. She was 14 years old at the time. Camilla's 22 now. Is that right? I think. I would need a calculator, but she was a teenager. But we're going to break that down in a minute. First, we're just going to go through these. Buckle up. Niglet. Why? Okay, run. Okay, I'm not going to say the N-word, and I'm also not going to spend this video saying N-word, because I just think it's very like Lord Voldemort-y. It's like he must not be named. So we're going to say Jigga. We're going to say Jigga, like Jay-Z does, okay? Run, Jigga, run. Why? Why are you reposting this? What is this even supposed to mean? Next, good thing Jigga rhymes with Jigga or this rap shit would be hard. Okay, now you brought Lil Wayne into it. Now you done did it. Now you brought Lil Wayne into it. He is a national treasure. This man is one of the best freestyle lyricists who, if he was born in a different era, he would be fucking Mozart, okay? Good thing. Oh my God. What? Oh my God. And look at the account this is reblogged from. Ed Sheeran anal beads. I don't ever want to get so famous that people have Tumblrs called Shallon Lester anal beads. Never. Okay, so she brought Lil Wayne into this. She can go kill herself. Okay, Mexican and Black jokes are pretty much the same. Once you heard Juan, you've heard Jamal. It's not even that funny. It's not even that funny. Again, from Ed Sheeran Anal Beads blog. Why are you reposting this? You cringe lord. Okay, Rihanna's IQ is 117. I don't think it is. Can you beat her? Chris Brown. I already did. Okay. Okay. You know who we worship here on this channel? Besides me. We worship Rihanna. Okay? And you brought, I'm bringing just, yeah. I don't. Okay. We're just, okay, we're moving on. I can't. Why did Asians speak the Ching Chong language? These aren't even funny. You think Asian languages sound like Ching Chong? Like, what are you, 6 years old? I get that you're 14, but like, I have been 14 too, and I wasn't making jokes like this, okay? But I grew up to be funny, and you grew up to be a cringe lord, so maybe that's where the divide happened. Maybe I was doing things that actually contributed to my comedic sense, and you were reposting this shit, this clown shit. What? Okay, we're not done. Okay, this seems to be Chinese symbols or made up weird symbols for majiga. What is with her in this word? What is with her in this word? We're going to talk about that because actually I have some ideas. Okay, another one. It's James, the Jigga-hating dolphin. What? So it's a black man shouting in a pool that there's a dolphin in the pool that hates black people. And then all the black people are running out. I don't even have words for this shit. It's so unfunny. Like, I mean, let's just start there. It's unfunny. It's racist and irredemptively so. It's just like a bad, stupid joke your Uncle Marty from Florida would tell at the dinner table where he's cracking open his fifth monster. You're like, what? Okay, reposted. Just Jigga from Twisted Ed Insanity blog. Why is she only reposting things from like Ed Sheeran blogs? What the hell is happening in the Ed Sheeran fandom? Why is she reposting this? Why? Okay, so that's all that I allowed myself to be sent. But this was not all of them. But they go on like that. Camilla, first of all, girl, you have leaned so hard into your own ethnic background. Your mom is Mexican. I think her dad's like Cuban or something. Like she's got an ethnic mix. She's not just a regular schmegular white bitch from the suburbs like me. And it's crazy to me when people who are proud of their ethnic heritage, as we all should be, like shit on somebody else's. It's like, what? So that to me tells me that people like her don't want equality. If she ever talks about equality for Latin people and Hispanic people, no. You want to be the big dog in the yard. That's the difference. And I know that because you're posting things purposely meant to oppress other people. So you don't want everyone to just be equal, like it's a small world, right? No, you got to be the top one. So you're going to be racist in order to minimize everyone else. You know what that isn't? You know what that the fuck isn't? An alpha female. Because what does an alpha female? Say it with me. A pack builder. A pack builder. I want to build a pack. Why? Because I know I'm at the top of the food chain. I'm a white woman in America. Are you kidding me? It kind of doesn't get any easier than this. Well, it does. You can be a white man in America. You can be a white boomer in America making laws to kill polar bears and oppress women. Don't even get me started. But I have a responsibility by virtue of my advantageous birth to help other people because I got it pretty darn good. And I know it. And my family has never let me forget that. Camilla apparently wasn't raised this way. I have no idea how she was raised. But I read on another blog that so this is kind of what it goes to. People like, she was a teenager, she was young. Okay, yes, we all do stupid shit when we're young, for sure. And my brand of stupid maybe isn't Camilla's. I was very emo and angsty. So if I had a Tumblr back then, it would have been like, Nina Harris, fuck you, still my boyfriend. It would have been shit like that. It wouldn't have been racist. It would have been very pointed towards somebody I knew. Very lame. but more in a vacuum. But this person on another blog made the point that Camilla's behavior here did not happen in a vacuum. She, on some level, was raised in an environment where her family or her friends thought this kind of language and behavior and humor was acceptable. If it wasn't, she would not be reposting this. And if she's reposting this in public, think about what she is doing behind the scenes. When no one can hear her, when there's no flashbulbs around, when no one's reposting anything. Now, in 2016, there was a big data hack and a lot of her DMs and her everything got leaked. And one of them, in one message, there was an exchange, a DM with, I think, a fan or something. And she's like, I work my ass off and cry only to get bullied by 4 jiggas. Presumably the rest of Fifth Harmony, right? And the person responded, yeah, but Normani actually is a jigger. And Camilla wrote back, ha 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 ha. Now, she did not deny that was a valid exchange because a lot of her fans that was made up, it was Photoshop. Maybe it was, I have no idea. But if it was me and someone came out and it's this is an exchange Shallon had, I would be breathing fire from the rooftops being that isn't true. Okay, some shit you have to let go. People are always going to lie on your name and whatever. And it's you pick your battles. That is a battle I would pick 100%. And she had been interviewed about that data hack before. And the interviewer at the Times brought that up. And she still didn't deny it. She said something this is why I don't go on social media so much because it's look, I'm not this perfect inhuman pop star. I'm a human being and we have flaws and blah, 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 blah. And it's is that a yes, girl? Is that a yes? You were calling your bandmates jiggas, especially Normani? But let's get into the Normani thing because this is a layer of fuckery that takes this from tacky reposting, perhaps the folly of youth. Don't really buy it. We've all been young. We don't all call people the N-word. I I've never used that word in my life. But we're going to talk about language in just a second, okay? We're going to talk about that. Let's talk about Normani. Normani, if you recall, was bullied so badly on Twitter she had to quit. Now, part of me hates to use the word bullied because I think as an adult, when you're in a social network that you are choosing to be part of, like, come on. Bullying is reserved for people, kids on the school bus. They can't leave. They can't switch schools. They can't leave their hometown, whatever. People who have a lack of personal power. A pop star she has options. She has agency. And you know what? She exercised it. She got off Twitter. But it's tragic that she had to. So how did this happen? Well, it dates back to an interview that Normani did with like some tiny little, it wasn't like on NBC or something, it's tiny little like blogger who interviewed her. And the chick was like, describe your bandmates. And when she got to Camilla, she said, she was pausing. She's like, Camilla, she is quirky. She's quirky and cute. That's what she said. Now look, the shady pauses, I get it. There was a little shade there. But she followed up with, she's quirky and cute. Okay? Camilla's fans went fucking ballistic. Like, they went absolutely postal. They were posting memes and pictures of Normani being lynched. Like, black people being lynched. I hope you die. All black people deserve to die. I mean, it's insane. She said she was quirky and cute. Even if she said Camilla's a fucking bitch and she sucks. I want her to swallow a light bulb. I can't stand her. You posted a picture of black people being lynched? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? We are so due for a plague. I can't wait. I'll probably die in the first wave. You know what? If I take people like that with me, fine. That's fine. I'm walking into the kingdom of heaven. I'm walking onto Mount Olympus with my multi-gods. You don't want to know where you're going. You ain't gonna like it there. So throughout this like barrage of insanity towards Normani on Twitter, guess what Camilla did? Nothing. Jack shit. She didn't issue one tweet. Well, she had one tweet that said, you don't have to hate others. You don't have to hate someone to love me. That's not pointed enough. If it was like my bandmate, my coworker, by the way, all the rest of Fifth Harmony came out in support of Normani, like this is disgusting, denouncing all this racism stuff. Camilla was very, very quiet. She didn't say anything. And that to me means obviously it was a tacit endorsement of this. And that's how Normani's fans, that's how most people took it. So we're starting to get these random constellations are starting to come together into a galaxy, aren't they? They're starting to form a profile of someone who is fucking trash, okay? Someone who gets to have sex with Shawn Mendes. She gets to have sex with Shawn Mendes. I don't know, maybe he's gay and they don't have sex. They at least made out. They made out. She gets to touch him. This is so unfair. I also am wondering if Shawn is just like disgusted and cringing because his whole thing is the nice guy, right? The wholesome Canadian dude. Shawn would never use language like this. He would never. He's our Canadian king. And it's like, if this PR relationship, someone on your team should have done their due diligence, okay? Because this is a garbage fire. And Camilla seems to know it's a garbage fire because she came out with an apology. Tweeted, I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart. I'm gonna skim it. When I was younger, I used language I'm ashamed of. I'll regret it forever. I was uneducated and ignorant. And once I became aware of the history and the weight and the true meaning behind this horrible and hurtful language, I was deeply embarrassed I ever used it. I apologized then and I apologize now. I would never intentionally hurt anyone. First of all, fucking yes, you would. I would intentionally hurt many people. Many people. Lots. So you lost me right there, okay? And I regret it from the bottom of my heart. Period. No, I'm sorry. Space, period, space. Check this shit for grammar. As much as I wish I could, comma, space, 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 I can't go back in time and change things I said in the past. But once you know better, you do better. And that's all I can do. I'm 22 now. I'm an adult and I've grown and I've learned and am conscious and aware of the history and the pain it carries in a way that I wasn't before. Really, you didn't understand that calling someone the N-word had a bad history to it? You didn't get that. That wasn't aware, that wasn't a thing to you. We read Huck Finn in like, what, 6th grade? You don't even have to read Huck Finn. But again, this goes back to how normal was this in her circle? That was like, jigga this, jigga that, watermelon, people swimming, whatever. Those mistakes don't represent the person I am or the person I've ever been. Okay. I only stand and have ever stood for love and inclusivity. Again, I don't only stand for love. I stand for war if you bring war to my doorstep. So it's like people swing too far to the other side when they issue these apologies. It's like, I'm the most loving person ever. I'd never hurt anyone. It's like, well, you don't on one hand say, hey, I'm only human and I have flaws. And then be like, but all I am is a big giant ball of throbbing love. No. Be like, look, yeah, I don't know. Like, don't even make that statement because you know it's bullshit. It's ridiculous. The truth is I was embarrassingly ignorant and unaware. I used my platform to speak out about injustice and inequality. Do you? When? When? Receipts. And I'll continue doing that. Continue. When? I can't say enough how deeply sorry and ashamed I feel. And I apologize again from the bottom of my heart. I just think apologies are best if you don't have someone banging down your door, for one. Do you know what I mean? If she had gotten out in front of this and been like, you know what, guys? I forgot about this Tumblr I had, and I went back and I looked at it and I was disgusted. I was cringing and disgusted. And no one's asking me to apologize. Maybe no one's seen this, but I want to apologize because I hate this. And I just really, it put a light on how far I've come. And I want other girls who might be like, casually throwing around these words because they hear them in a rap song and they think it's cool and they're trying to look hard, like living in the suburbs. It isn't cool. It isn't cute. It's hurtful. She didn't say that. She didn't say that. She said she wrote something in notes in night mode in a font I don't enjoy at all. And do we even know that this was her apology? She's got a team, right? If I had to apologize for something, I hate to apologize. I hate it. And you know that if I ever apologize, I mean it because I am almost never sorry for anything. So if I apologize, I mean that shit. But if I had like a knife to my back and my team was like, you got to apologize, I'd be like, fine, you fucking write it. I'm not doing it. You know, and I can see her being like that. I would have appreciated this apology more if it was in video so that we could analyze her body language and really see, like her voice inflections and everything. Be like, is she sorry or is she not? Is this bullshit? She wrote that and it's like, girl, that could have come from anyone. That could have come from anyone, you know? I don't know. But let's talk about language choices because, yeah, like she's using these words, jigga and all this stuff that is so prevalent in music, in conversation, and it has got to stop. It has got to stop. And I'm looking at every single one of you, not just the people of color, not just the white people. Everyone has to stop using these words. Okay? You know what word you never hear? Poppycock. It's an excellent word. It's very satisfying. It's good mouthfeel. Poppycock. Why don't we hear it? Because no one's fucking saying it. That's how language works. It's a trend and it dies out and it goes extinct, right? If like the Poppycock Council started giving kickbacks to musicians to write it in their songs, people would be saying it. So if we as a society don't want to hear this word, if we don't want people like Camilla weaponizing this word and using it, we have to stop saying it. I don't say it, but a lot of other people do. You know, don't say it in your music. Don't say it in your private conversations. Don't say it in fucking public. I live in New York City, baby. I hear this word all the time. All the time. And it's, you know, white people will hear it and they feel like it's cool to say because it's in music and it's not. And it's like, I kind of get what Camilla means. Like she doesn't understand the gravity of saying this because it's just like, oh, jigga this, jigga that, whatever, blah, blah. Yo, my jigga, blah, blah, blah. Yo, jigga, you ready? And it's like, But when you normalize something, then you can't also be like, but it has all this weight. Well, which is it? Which is it? Is it a bad word or is it a normal word? And, you know, it's not, I'm not pointing fingers at, I'm not victim blaming, certainly, but it's like, look, if we want change, we have to be the change that we aim to see in the world. That is just the reality of it. And this word adds fucking nothing. This word adds nothing. You know, my dad would say, people who swear a lot do so because they're too stupid to think of anything better to say. And one of my 2020 New Year's resolutions is to swear less, because I know I swear a lot in these videos, and my mom reminded me of that. She watched the video, she's like, you're swearing a lot and it makes you sound stupid. I was like, yes, ma'am. She's not wrong. She's not wrong. Bad words really don't add very much. Like, every once in a while. The N-word does not add anything. There's no consciousness. There's no, brotherhood, sisterhood. There is not. So we have to stop. We have to stop. Or you're going to keep getting Camila Cabello's. Okay? And look, if society stops using this word, so casually and colloquially, then when someone like Camilla does do stuff like this, it's going to be nuclear and she will be fully canceled. So think of it that way. Think of it that way. Like, we don't say the word retard anymore, I hope. One of you, someone called me a retard. A Selena Gomez stan called me. She's like, you're a retard for making fun of Selena because she has a disease. I was like, do you understand what irony is? Do you get that? Is this like in your little reptile brain? Do you get that? But we don't say retard anymore because it's bad. It's real bad. Really bad. Don't do it. But then if we have someone come out and say that, it's like, no, we're all on board that that's not cool. So we got to do it with all the other words. So what can we learn from this, right? Because like I said, no one has been flawless on the internet. I feel like I'm an elder millennial, and I'm a little bit lucky because social media was around. We were like teenagers and stuff, but people were not using it the way we were now. We weren't expressing every micro emotion on the internet, posting a billion pictures. So much of my awkward and embarrassing years happened in a void. There was no documentation, thank God. But say that something does come back to bite you, and maybe, look, you're probably not a celebrity, probably me neither. People probably aren't digging up old Tumblrs or old MySpace pages. Oh my God, can you imagine? And so this might not be something that you're going to have to deal with in this precise circumstance, but I bet there's going to be some skeletons in your closet on some end that are going to come out, whether it's, wait a minute, you had sex with so-and-so's boyfriend, right? Or it's a fight you got into, or it's just something stupid you did. So if your past comes back to haunt you, what can you do, right? What can you do? Well, like I said with Camilla, I think it's better to get out in front of something if at all possible. If you can kind of see the train coming, you're like, oh no, someone's going to discover this. She's talking to that girl who went to my middle school and I was a mess in middle school, and then she's going to tell her that I got in that fist fight and blah, blah, blah. See if you can get out in front of it. But that's not always possible. And sometimes it really is better to just let sleeping dogs lie, because if you poke the bear and if you really bring up a scandal that no one else was thinking about, then you've given life to it. You have brought it to life. So unless you are absolutely positive this is going to pop, say nothing. And then when it does, don't be reactive. Be proactive, okay? Let 24 hours at least go by, because I am very reactive. I want to respond immediately to something. And it's if I can wait even 15, 20 minutes, what's my hair doing? And just let the mind calm down and come up with a better response. I do. I come up with a way, way better response. So let what we call a news cycle go by. You might not be a celeb, you might not be on the news, but a news cycle is still a unit of measurement in terms of someone's attention span. What's a huge deal on Sunday? Monday, everyone's school, everyone's at work. They're thinking about other things. Nobody really cares that you got blacked out and barfed all over brunch. Who cares? So if you don't have to address it, if this has a pretty short half-life, don't. But if this scandal is taking on weight and it's snowballing and people are adding, then you go to the root of this. If this is someone you hooked up with someone's boyfriend back in the day, whatever, you go to her and you issue the apology to her, okay? Don't make something public if it actually is private, because then again, you're just going to breathe more life into this scandal. And I've done videos before on the proper way to apologize, right? The proper way to apologize isn't, well, I'm sorry, I was young then. That's a qualifier, okay? Because what you're saying there is but. I'm sorry, but I was young then. That's what Camilla says. What but actually means is, forget everything I just said. Now I'm about to tell you the truth and what I really think, okay? So if you were issuing apology saying, I'm sorry, but I was young then, try this. I was young then. Doesn't sound so much like an apology anymore, does it? It sounds like it's your problem. I was young. I'm not to be blamed. I, perhaps, am the victim here, right? I was young. So, parrot your apology back to yourself and think, would I want to hear this? Does this hold weight for me? And if you're not going to issue a good apology, don't even do it. If you're not sorry, just don't be fucking sorry. Like Camilla, with the whole Normani thing, it's like she wasn't saying anything on Twitter to tell people to back off because she didn't want them to. And on one hand, it's like, I guess props for that authenticity or whatever, but you are a trash person. That's disgusting. I don't know. She's not a trash person. I don't know. This whole thing is so muddled. Her apology, it does have good points. It's like when you know better, you do better, and that's all I can do. But again, in this apology, I would have liked for her to say something about Normani. And looking back, I realized I didn't come to Normani's defense because, I didn't understand the gravity of what this meant to her. I thought these were just like hurtful, stupid memes, whatever, get over it. Now, I've talked to some church elders. I've gone down to the South. I've talked to people whose grandparents, were feeling the after effects of Jim Crow, blah, blah, blah. Didn't say that. That would have given a lot more weight, because here's another point that you want to hit in a quality apology. I have learned X, and that will influence my behavior in Y ways going forward, right? Because people don't just want to hear sorry. They want to hear sorry, and here's why it's not going to happen again. Sorry, and here's what I've learned. Sorry, and you will never have to experience this from me again. Camilla circled the airport on that, but I don't think she quite hit the landing. I use my platform to speak about injustice and inequality. You don't do that with your own bandmate. I don't know, maybe she's this big philanthropist that I've missed, but all I see is her, cutting her bangs further and further and further fucking back until she looks like a toddler, and then Frenching everyone's husband, Shawn Mendes, in the pool. I don't know, man. I don't know. It just, I don't dislike her because of the Shawn thing. I truly don't. Whatever. But I dislike her because she just feels so goddamn phony all the time. She feels so rehearsed. I told you, I interviewed her in Fifth Harmony one time, and she was just very yes, well, it was just very practiced. And the other girls were girls. They were normal people. Camilla, it's like she was acting in a bad high school play where she was playing a pop star. But you know what? That translates on stage. She goes out there and she's just doing these things. And it's you guys are buying this shit? Evidently. So she just feels phony baloney. And she has felt phony baloney in so many different categories for so long that now when she has to be real, it's I don't know what real you looks like. And I kind of don't want to know. Because if real you is throwing around jigga this, jigga that, getting bullied by 4 jiggas, I'm all stocked up on real you. But I want to know what you guys have to say about this. Are you accepting her apology? And do you think this is actually a pretty good celebrity apology? I don't think it's terrible at all. God, it beats Jordan Woods' fucking non-apology and Justin Timberlake's victim finger-pointing non-apology as well. It's not bad, but it just, I don't know. You kind of can't unring the bell, and that's what sucks about stuff like this. You say things like this when you're a teenager, and the internet always wins. The internet is undefeated. And that stuff will come back to haunt you. But I guess she's right. You know better and you do better, and that's kind of all it is. And I hope I would never be in this position where my cringe lord MySpace page, there's nothing racist on it. It's just wicked embarrassing. Please don't find it. Came up and I had to apologize for being such a My Chemical Romance super fan. I should apologize. I should apologize to my family and friends who stuck with me through that dark time. I regret nothing. It was awesome. I love them still. So I want to know what you guys think about this. Are you believing this? Are you buying this? Is she all good in your book? Or do you think that her racist behavior is so deep that it's just going to come out in another way sooner or later, or that this is just lip service and she's trying to smooth things over from a PR standpoint, and that really at the core, she is super racist against people and Normani? I want to know. Sound off in the comment section. Let me know. And especially if you are a person of color, what would you want to hear in terms of an apology from someone in Camilla's position? Like, what holds weight with you, if anything? And if nothing, that's valid too, you know? But like I said, find me on Instagram at shallonxo, and please consider donating to the GoFundMe to help a homeless mama. You can also shop her Amazon wishlist, link right down here. Get some Christmas gifts for her and the kiddos. It's a really worthy cause, but we'll be keeping you updated on that. I'll see you later, Shalloners.